I want to take you now to the port city of Durban. A cleanup operation is underway in Bellair in Durban. A team of environmentalists are working with Transnet after a pipeline theft led to crude oil spillage yesterday. The province's Economic Development and Tourism as well as Environmental Affairs Department says Transnet has recorded more than 80 incidents of fuel theft and incidents of attempted theft this year. Let's bring in Jayed-leigh Paulse, our reporter, on the scene for us. Jayed-leigh, a very good morning to you. Talk to us about the extent of this spillage of crude oil.
Well, a very good morning to you, Blaine, and to the viewers. Actually, where I'm standing right now, Blaine, I must make mention of the fact that it is really pungent. The smell of petroleum, crude oil coming from this river. Even Dabe Kumalo behind the lens can just show you guys back at home. Spilltech is on the scene trying to contain the situation. They've been here since last night trying to, extract this crude oil from the river. Just to explain exactly what's happening here now, you are seeing a pipe on your screens. However, this is not the pipe that has leaked into the Umbilo River. There's another adjoint pipe on the other opposite end where we are standing right now, and it is said by officials that a syndicate has actually been operating here. They have drilled underground, thus leading to petroleum oil being spilt into the Umbilo River. It is an environmental hazard. Spilltech has been here for the better part of last night, including this morning, trying to contain the situation. Several packets trying to extract the crude oil from this river. As it stands now, we're not too sure how much crude oil has in fact been spilt into the Umbilo River, which also runs into the Durban harbour, but definitely very devastating. Environmentalists have also been lobbying, also saying that, this simply cannot happen where we have these syndicates trying to extract the oil from the pipelines, also saying that the pipelines need to be changed, that they are, very shoddy, they are old, and they need to be, refurbished. But with me right now, I do, Blaine, have Ndabe Sibia. He is the spokesperson for MEC of Environmental Affairs in the province, Nomusa Dube, just to tell us about what exactly is happening here and how it has been contained. Ndabe, you guys have been here since last night. How much oil, if you have it on hand, how much oil has been leaked into this river, and also the impact, the environmental impact? Can you just talk us through that?
Yes. Well, thank you very much. Good morning to the viewers at home. Well, the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Nomsa Dube, was here last night interacting with the team deployed to rehabilitate the source of the spillage, and she was also interacting with environmentalists, and there's a report that is being prepared which will indicate the amount of crude oil that has been extracted. But there are a number of issues that the MEC is interested in. She wants to establish exactly who is behind this drilling of the pipe. Number two, who is refining this crude oil? Number three, who is distributing this crude oil? Number four, who is buying this refined crude oil? And are there any illegal refineries here in KwaZulu-Natal? Those are the issues that the MEC is interested in. But more importantly, she has undertaken to ensure that there is an integrated approach adopted to clean up the environment and to deal with the whole issue around the implementation of the agenda on climate change. Here you have a council on climate change involving academics, non-governmental organizations, as well as ordinary members of society. And the MEC is saying there has to be an integrated approach to deal with the whole issue of the implementation of the agenda on climate change.
And David, I just want to go back to that syndicate. The MEC came out strongly last night saying that this is a syndicate. We do have a matter in the Durban High Court where a gentleman was, a part of that syndicate. He was, cracked down by police, being involved in extracting crude oil from pipelines such as this one behind us. What is going to be implemented? I know that environmentalists have come out strong saying that these pipelines are shoddy. They need to be refurbished. They need infrastructure. Needs to be, better equipment. All of that needs to come under hand, and we haven't seen that in the years here in Durban. So from the department side, working with environmentalists, how are infrastructure also going to try and alleviate this problem that we're experiencing here?
Well, as I'm talking to you, the MEC is attending the meeting of the provincial, council, the executive council. That is what we call the cabinet, provincial cabinet, where she's actually presenting a report on what transpired last night. But the council on climate change is what the MEC has described as a bridge that closes the gap between government and the people on the ground. She's emphasizing the need to mobilize society to be part of all efforts that are aimed at cleaning up the riverbanks, ensuring that we preserve our environment for future generation. But again, I need to point out that the MEC is working extremely hard to ensure that the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone, is positioned as a site for oil and gas. And she's saying over the next 10 to 20 years, we want Richards Bay to be the site of oil and gas, to be the site of energy infrastructure. Therefore, the community is very critical, ensuring that the infrastructure that is put up, is protected. Working with environmentalists and working with all activists that are involved, in issues of climate change.
Thank you very much. Well, that was Ndaba Sibiya. He is the spokesperson for the MEC of Environmental Affairs here, just talking about what the MEC is going to table in Cabinet this morning. She is sitting down with role players as well as environmentalists to try and find a solution to this situation that Durban is experiencing with the pipelines. We do know that this is, not the first time this has happened. There's been 80 incidents of theft of the pipelines, which has led to petroleum and crude oil being dumped into many of the rivers here in Durban, and it remains to be seen what solution will come about. MEC calling on the community also to play their part, but saying that syndicates such like this need to be tracked down by police, and hoping that they can get to the bottom of this. Blaine, it's back to you in studio.
Jayed-leigh, just before I let you go, I just want to fully understand what we're dealing with here. This river behind you, is it a water source for any nearby communities? Let me just repeat the question. I can see that your earpiece has fallen off. This river behind you, Jayed-leigh, is it a water source for any nearby communities?
Blaine, can you just repeat that question?
The river behind you, where the spillage happened, is it a water source for any communities in the area?
Okay, I'm just going to step out of shot so Ndaba can show you. Yes, this is the Umbilo River. So it does flow through to a community, the Umbilo community here in Durban. And not yet too certain, Blaine, if this is a source of water for people that live in that area. However, as you can see, this is an environmental health hazard, and it will affect many if it does run through those parts of the community. We will have to see what the MEC has come to tell us with regards to what they're going to be doing. Furthermore, Spilltech is still on the scene. They're trying to contain the situation. They've cordoned off the part of the river with pipelines trying to extract the oil that has flowed through here. We're not too sure what the extent of the damage is, Blaine. As I said, that they've been here since last night trying to extract that oil. Several packets coming out, thick petroleum oil, crude oil coming from the rivers. But I suppose we'll have to see how long this process happens, and if in fact they will be able to contain it, because this is a massive procedure that is underway here.
So that's crude oil in those packets behind you. Is that normally how they clean up a spill, put it in packets?
Yes, so right now, they had pipelines in the water. They've been trying to extract this oil. They've had packets. They've been trying to, control the river flow. But I mean, it's also been raining here in Durban quite hard, Blaine. So the The impact of this will have to be seen later on in the week. The river is probably also going to increase, which makes it a bit of a problem with all the rainfall that we've been experiencing since last night. But I imagine that by the end of the day, or hopefully by the end of the week, we'll be able to ascertain whether the operation was a success or if more needs to be done.
Jayed-leigh, stay on the story. Come back to us with any further developments. We'll get you on air, get the viewers the very latest with regards to this spillage. Jayed-leigh Paulse there in Durban. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the leader of the Enlightened Christian Gathering Church, Shepherd Bushiri, and his wife